You know what makes me want to flip a table? Watching people obsess over which stock to buy with their first $1,000 while they've got a credit card sitting in their wallet, charging them 22% interest. It's like spending hours researching the best brand of fertilizer for your garden while your house is on fire. The priorities are completely backwards, and nobody is talking about it honestly. My name is Steve, and I've spent more time than any reasonable person should thinking about what people should actually do with their first $1,000. Not what sounds exciting, not what gets clicks, what actually moves the needle when you're starting from nothing. If you want a real, honest, step-by-step answer to this question instead of another video telling you to just buy the S&P 500, hit subscribe and stick around, because some of what I'm about to tell you is going to surprise you. Here's a number that stopped me cold. The average American is carrying $6,371 in credit card debt right now, and the average interest rate on that debt? 22.25%. Meanwhile, the same people carrying that debt are asking me whether they should put their $1,000 into index funds or individual stocks. That's not an investing question. That's a house is on fire question. And the answer isn't which curtains to hang. The truth is, what you do with your first $1,000 depends entirely on where you're starting from. And most people skip the question entirely and jump straight to the fun part. That's exactly how you turn $1,000 into a very expensive lesson. So let's go through this the right way. Step by step, in the order that surely matters. Step 1, ask yourself one question before you touch anything. Do you have any high-interest debt? Credit cards, payday loans, personal loans charging you above 8%, anything in that category. Because if you do, I'm going to tell you something you probably don't want to hear. The smartest investment you can make with your $1,000 is paying that debt down first. I know, that's not what you came here for. But stay with me because the math is brutal. Paying off a credit card charging you 22% interest is a guaranteed 22% return on your money. No stock, no ETF, no index fund can promise you that. Warren Buffett's long-term average is around 20%. You'd be beating him, guaranteed, with zero risk. Think about it this way. Putting $1,000 into an index fund while carrying a $5,000 credit card balance is like bailing water out of a sinking boat with a teacup while the hole in the hull is still wide open. You feel like you're doing something, but the math is eating you alive. Pay the high-interest debt first. Every dollar you put toward it earns you a guaranteed return that almost nothing in the market can match. Step 2, if you don't have high-interest debt, build your floor before you build your walls. If your debt situation is clean, or once you've knocked it down, the next question is simple. Do you have an emergency fund? Not a I could probably figure it out plan. An actual cash cushion sitting in an account you can touch tomorrow if everything goes sideways. Here's why this matters more than people realize. Without an emergency fund, every investment you make is fragile. Because the moment life throws you an unexpected car repair, a medical bill, a job disruption, you're selling your investments at the worst possible time just to cover it. You're not building wealth, you're just cycling money through panic. The goal isn't 6 months of expenses right now. With $1,000, the goal is a starter fund, enough to cover a real emergency without blowing up your investment plan. Here's what I recommend. Park your $1,000 in a high-yield savings account. Right now, the best ones are paying around 4% APY. That's 7 times the national average savings rate. Your money isn't sitting idle. It's earning while it waits. And more importantly, it's available. No penalties, no waiting, no selling. Once you've got that floor built, that's when the real investing begins. Step 3, get your employer match before you do anything else. This is the part most people skip because they don't fully understand what they're leaving behind. If your employer offers a 401k match and you're not contributing enough to grab the full match, stop everything else and fix that first. An employer match is a guaranteed immediate 50% to 100% return on every dollar you put in up to the match limit. Nothing beats that. Literally nothing. If your employer matches 50 cents on every dollar up to 6% of your salary, and you earn $50,000 a year, you're leaving $1,500 of free money on the table every single year you don't claim it. That's not a missed opportunity. That's handing your paycheck back to your employer and asking them to keep the change. Use part of your $1,000 to bridge the gap if you need to. Direct contributions toward hitting that match threshold before you put a single dollar anywhere else. Step 4. Now you're ready to actually invest. And here's where most people finally get it wrong in a completely different way. Once the debt is handled, the emergency fund is in place, and you're capturing your employer match, your $1,000 goes into a Roth IRA. Not a brokerage account, not a trading app, a Roth IRA. Here's why that order matters more than most people know. Every dollar that grows inside a Roth IRA grows completely tax-free. You contribute money you have already paid taxes on, and after that, the government never touches it again. Not on the growth, not on the withdrawals in retirement, ever. Compare that to a regular brokerage account, where you pay taxes on dividends every year, and then again on any gains when you sell. That tax drag compounds against you silently for decades. Invest $1,000 in a Roth IRA at 25, earning the S&P 500's historical average of roughly 10% annually, and that single $1,000 becomes around $45,000 by the time you're 65. Tax-free, every dollar of it. Leave that same $1,000 in a taxable account with the same return but regular tax drag, and you might walk away with $28,000 or $30,000 instead. Same amount invested, same market, different account type. Roughly $15,000 difference, just from where you put it. Step 5. What to actually buy inside that account. This is where people spend 90% of their time and energy, and it matters significantly less than the 4 steps above. But since you asked, here's the honest answer. For a first-time investor with $1,000, you want a low-cost, broad index fund, something like VOO, VTI, or FXAIX. These funds give you exposure to hundreds or thousands of companies at once, charge fees of less than 0.05% annually, that's 50 cents per $1,000 invested, and have historically outperformed the overwhelming majority of actively managed funds over long time periods. You are not going to beat the market picking individual stocks with your first $1,000. Almost nobody does, and the ones who do usually give it back trying to do it again. One broad index fund, low fees, leave it alone, let time do the work. That's it, that's the whole strategy. So here's the sequence. High interest debt first, because a guaranteed 22% return beats everything. Emergency fund next, because fragile investments aren't real investments. Employer match third, because free money with a 100% return doesn't come around twice. Roth IRA fourth, because tax-free compounding over decades is the most powerful force in personal finance. And inside that account, Sawatell, a simple low-cost index fund that you never touch. Most people do none of this. They download a trading app, buy 3 stocks they heard about, and wonder why their $1,000 isn't growing fast enough. Follow this sequence and you won't just be ahead of most people your age. You'll be building something that actually lasts. Your future self is watching. Don't let them down.